Let's get this podcast going. Welcome to episode 10 of MTMJ Fit Podcast. I am your host, MTMJ. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what, this year, I didn't eat as much food as I normally would do in the past. I don't know what to contribute that to, but yeah, there was so much food, and I don't think I did a good enough job helping the food disappear. But I know it's been, 2 weeks since I last talked to you guys. I miss podding. I miss talking to you. Got another update to my truck situation. I got an update to episode 9's topic about being thrown into impossible situations or impossible situations. Also, I'm going to talk about my top intros to some of my favorite albums of the year. I'm going to talk about that. But we're going to start this podcast off with just recapping my week. So, Thanksgiving came and went pretty quickly. Hey, kids can be so hot and they don't even realize it. So I picked my kids up 2 weeks ago from their grandmother. On my way home, I stopped for coffee. Some homeless lady tried to hand me $1 as I was going into 7-Eleven. So she's like, take this $1 and do something good with it. Get you something good. So I told the lady, nah, I'm good. I don't need your $1. You keep your $1. I had seen this lady before just stumbling down the street or whatnot. So I knew who she was, but didn't know who she was. Anyway, fast forward. A couple days later, my daughter is going to the grocery store with my wife, and she tells her, you know, Daddy took some money from some lady that looked like a polka dot. A freaking polka dot. She's like, yeah, this lady tried to give my daddy some money. Needless to say, kids don't miss anything and don't think they miss anything. So we're going to get this podcast started out, man. You know, I got to intro the podcast. Got to start podcasting off with some vibes. YouTube, welcome to another episode of Fit Talk and Motivation with MTMJ. Hey, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Comment, share, and like the YouTube page. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate and review. If you listen on Spotify, make sure you follow. And wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure you follow the podcast, man. It's going to be a good episode, though. We're going to really talk some talk. I also know, man, I gotta start pausing the podcast, right, and check the camera. Because lately I've been losing a lot of footage to put up, right, for you guys to see. And that's because I'm not kind of like just checking in like I told you. This is a one-team project here, so I got to make sure I'm doing everything, right? All right, so look. Like I told you, I had an update to an impossible situation I was being involved in. So look, after I finished the podcast on Wednesday, right? This is episode 9, right? I'm just going through, you know, fellas and I, we have a group chat where we specifically talk to one another, right? So I'm on the group chat, right? We just talking about a little bit of everything. So then the boy that, you know, the dude I was telling y'all about in the story, he throws some shade, right? The only person this could be thrown at would be me, right? So I'm like, well, one thing I'm learning, right, is the older I get, the less tolerant I am for the bullshit. So I'm going to address the situation, and I want to make sure, you know, that I'm doing it respectfully, right? Because you don't ever want to be disrespectful. I understand at this point, I got kids, I'm grown. So ain't no point in going back and forth with nobody. Once I listened, I saw what he was going, I called him. Instantly started fussing. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and fuss with you. Let's just get to the bottom of this and understand where we can go. Because at the end of the day, you know, our blood and our bond is thicker than any disagreement we could possibly have. I believe if you can have a simple conversation with somebody, right, you can particularly get to the bottom of any situation. So we talking. We start talking, right? And when I'm listening to him, right, and I start thinking, man, I was like, I was already thinking this. I was thinking like, why would such and such do such and such? It doesn't really make any sense. Needless to say, you know, by the end of that conversation, I felt like me and my friend had grew closer. I'm glad we had that conversation. I don't know if he listened to the podcast and that would made him get a little frustrated. But needless to say, we was able to get through that conversation after the tug of war, the back and forth, and all that other good stuff. And I really enjoyed that conversation because, like I told him, he's a little immature. I thought that was an immature way of really addressing our problem, and I'm glad we was able to really solve it and move on. Like I said, make sure you go over listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you rate and review. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, man. Because look, there's some vibes going on the audio part, man. I really have found a way to kind of like make sure I'm keeping you guys in tune, make sure I'm relating to you guys. I don't want to be in a business where I'm sitting back constantly feel like I'm talking down to anyone. I want to bring you in, so man, make sure you comment, give me some tips, man. DM me at _ MTMJFitness on Instagram, man. We really can have a conversation and we can really talk, man. Make sure you go on and subscribe. Listen, we are at the 1 year anniversary of this podcast, right? I've been doing this podcast since November 23rd, 2020. We're 1 year in. While we're not where we want to be, we're on our way to where we're going to be. Ha ha! Hope you like that. We have to put time. Ba ba ba. Oh, that's a shame. Taking it somewhere else. Hey. Telling you, make sure you go over to the podcast, Apple Podcast, man. Listen to it. We vibing today, man, for the 1 year anniversary of the podcast, man. Thank you to all my supporters that's been kind of like following along and watching my progression. We're only gonna get better from here, man. We're going up, not down. Up. Let's go. This truck situation is crazy, man. Hey, look. Shit is crazy. Wait till you hear next what I'm about to have to do. It's amazing that the consumer has to go through so much to get so little. So look, like I said, I had an update to the truck situation. On Monday, I reached back out to the dude because he told me a few days ago that they were able to work something out and that he'll be calling me soon. Soon turned into 4 or 5 days before I had to reach out to him. So when I texted him, I'm like, bro, what happened, man? I said, man, I thought you were supposed to have been reaching out to me, X, Y, and Z. He was like, so he didn't say anything. He just called. So now, remember last time I told you $7,500 for the trade-in, $6,500 for the fix. This time, he coming back with $8,500 for the trade-in, and this time it ain't $6,500 to get the vehicle fixed. It's a number that is he's supposedly saying is way more than what they originally thought. What type of shit is that? Like, help me listen, babe. Help me understand this. I really don't. I think at this point, like, this is the devil testing me. Like, seriously. This is really the devil testing me and making me want to just go off. You know, and I'm, yeah, I am trying my hardest not to lose my cool. But this is frustrating. It's really frustration. It's really frustrating because, like, it's a major, major, major inconvenience. Like, on so many levels. And I think I'm the only one that understands this. For real. Hey, look, man. I wish I could understand it. It's one of those situations like when I never thought I would go through this in my life. Like, you got consumer awareness. There's a Consumer Awareness Act, right? I don't see where I went wrong. Like, I feel like I did everything I'm supposed to. Right? I found a vehicle. I secured the funds. I bought the vehicle. I noticed some things was going wrong. I contacted the dealership. Once I felt like it was about to be some bull, I went and got a warranty. After I got the warranty, I got this, we never received your information at the dealership, so that's why we ain't processed X, Y, and Z. So you basically lied to me. Like, I never understand it, man. Shit is crazy. Shit, you like, I could see if I was like a horrible person, but Jesus Christ, I'm not. I treat everybody with empathy, even in the face of evil. Like, even when I feel like someone's doing me wrong, I still try not to stoop down to their level because I feel like the best way to win certain situations is to treat the devil with kindness. Hey, look, when you stepping on his face, or when you trying to go fist for fist with the devil, you're going to lose that battle. It don't make sense, right? Pastor always say, like, in the face of evil, you know, choose empathy. Like, but like, at what point do you choose violence? So we ready to take a little break. You know, like I've been noticing on the podcast, right? As far as the like video, I have to stop now and start checking the video. Like, I'm a one-person band member, right? So I got to make sure that in order to bring you the best content for the YouTube, that you need to make sure you subscribe to. Make sure you comment, share, and like the podcast on YouTube. Make sure you go over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, rate and review wherever you can rate and review. And make sure you follow the podcast so when I drop an episode, you can get it. Right? You better take advantage of this, man, before I get so big, I got to start charging. But we're going to take a break, right? We'll be right back. We back, y'all. I had to take an intermission. Oh! Alright, we back. I had to take an intermission. Like I told you. It's a one-person band. So we gotta do what we gotta do when we gotta do what we gotta do. Hey, this week, man, I've been thinking like I want to quit my day job so goddamn bad. But you know, we can't do that. Because I want to really focus on growing this podcast and my business. And the only way to do that is by not being handicapped to somebody's schedule. Because I have to spend a lot of time on somebody else's clock trying to find ways to grow my business. The only way to do that is being more consistent. Right? Why I feel like I'm consistent, I will tell anybody who wants to be a podcast, one of the biggest things you need not to pay attention to is the amount of people that is listening to your podcast, the amount of people that is watching your podcast. You need to worry about your controllables. Your controllables is consistency, accuracy, and perfection. Like doing your best, man, to put the best eye-popping and ear-popping content out for the listeners. So I was thinking about it this week, man. I swear to God, I won't quit. But I'm trying to stay the course until, you know, things really work out in my favor. I saw something Deion Sanders just said this morning, right? And I don't even need to go look at it because I say this all the time. You know, we want things to happen when we want them to happen, but we got to understand, like, maybe that moment, and I said it, it's not your season, right? It might not be your moment to like advance, or it may not be your moment to grow. But don't think because it ain't your time that all your hard work is gonna go in vain. It's just like you got to sit back and be patient and understand that your season will come. So in this season, I'm just trying so freaking hard to focus on my controllables. Because some of these bad days have really been weighing on me. And this truck situation is really taking a toll, like, on my mental. Because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I saying? Is it, like, for a person that's not being an asshole and to constantly feel like dude is playing me, like, I should be one of those aggressive people that's up there cursing and bustling and doing all this extra shit. But no, I'm not. And I just feel like I'm being flim-flam, right? Now, I've talked to people and I've told this story, and I hate keep harking on this to everybody, but I've got people telling me to do this, all this shit that they telling me to do is bad. And I'm hearing this advice from some of the most responsible people I would know. And for them to give me that devilish ass advice, shit don't make sense to me. Yeah, man, motherfuckers giving me all types of dumbass advice. Like, what the hell, man? Like, what I look like? Yeah, none of that evil ass advice is gonna lead to nothing good for me. Like, chances are, motherfuckers gonna lead. This shit's gonna lead back to me one way or another, regardless if I do the dumb shit or I get somebody else to do it. How do I look doing some of that shit, right? So I'm like, when motherfuckers, I stop listening when niggas give me dumbass advice that just don't make sense. I'm smarter than that. But look, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you rate and review on Apple Podcasts, man. Support the podcast, man. It's some good stuff, man. We really be talking about a lot of things. And look, make sure you go on and get you some merch, man. The link to the podcast merch store will be in the descriptions below. So make sure you go check it out, man. We got some nice stuff on there, man. Look, I'm proud of the items that I was able to put inside the store. I'm proud of the stuff that I've worn so far and I've actually put on myself. I hope you like it, man. It's only gonna get better, man. But it can't be as great as it can without your support. So I really thank you. Appreciate you. So look. I was going to do a podcast last week, right? I was going to do one on Thanksgiving Eve, right? And on Thanksgiving Eve, I was so excited, right? I said, man, look, I'm going to do the top intros, my intros, right? And what I did was I put some fillers out there. I talked to friends, talked to family members, and while I heard, their, opinions, this is what I came up with, man. So tell me what you think. So it's gonna be some cursing. So bear with me. Let's go. So look, if you was rating this champagne poetry from Drake, what do you think? It's artistry, right? But is this Drake's best project? No. So then we're gonna go from that to this. Now listen. Y'all listen. Look where Meek about to take you to. Oh. See, Meek is saying how everybody in the street feels. Look, it make you, hey. And then look, from there, he gonna take you somewhere else, right? Come on, look. Come. Hey, look, Drake ain't got nothing on that. So I'm in the gym. It's hard. You hear that? Hey, so imagine you in the gym and you going, who hating on me? Oh, why they hating on me? Sir, ain't nobody talking to you. Well, sir, he be hating. So look, when you hear that, you like, what can he possibly do with that, right? Nas, my man, but listen, when Nas will go more poetry, man, more poetry. So that's 3 so far, right? You got Drake, you got Nas, and you got me. You rate that as you please. That's just 3 right there. But watch where Nas gonna go. Tell me what you think, man. Man, go over to Apple Podcasts, man. Make sure you rate and review and subscribe. Go over to Spotify, man. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, like, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go over to YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast, baby. Let's go. So look, I thought that was enough, right? So like I said, we got Drake, Meek, Nas. Now watch. This, well, you talk about poetry. This is more poetry. But see, Weeknd don't even give this song justice. He don't even give this song justice. Hey, look, he don't give this song justice. When you walk on water. Look, we gotta wait for Kanye verse. Oh, we ain't waiting for Kanye voice, bro. So you sit back, man. You got Nas, Drake, Meek, Kanye. So that's 4. But look, where I'm about to go now, this is the most underrated intro of the year. The most underrated artist of the year. Right? And he's been underrated, majority of his career, but let's see. I know you know that's DJ Drama. If he gonna get him something, you know it's gonna be vibes. Yeah. We vibing over here, man. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Make sure you go over to Instagram and follow me at _MTMJFitness, man. Make sure you shoot me a follow on there, man. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. That's the most important thing. Also, make sure you rate and review on Apple. It helps for me to reach sponsorships, man, for the podcast so we can make this podcast even bigger and better for you guys, right? Thank you for supporting the podcast, for all my new listeners, my old listeners. And if you're not listening no more, I really appreciate you too, because at some point you cared enough to listen. One of the things I've learned over the last year, like kind of just vibing out on the podcast, right, and just watching other people's podcasts, is you got to be transparent, one. And you got to be unique. You can't be fake. So I try to my best to do what I can to give y'all the best energy I probably can. Y'all heard that, man. But look, this is still the intro. This is still the intro. You hear? So look, now we got Drake, Meek, Nas, Kanye, and Tyler the Creator. So that's 5. That's 5. Make sure you comment in the YouTube comments what your top whatever is, man. Let me know, man. And then look, we're gonna hit them with some J. Cole. You hear that? Hey, look, so we going through the top 10, top 7, whatever your top is, man. Make sure you comment in the comment section on the YouTube and let me know what your top whatever is, man. Some of the best songs that you listened through the year that you thought had fire intros, right? I'm not giving no award. I'm just shooting flowers, man. I like shooting flowers. This is my podcast, so I like to be unique. This is me. I like to listen to music. I can give energy. And music's good for the soul, man. But J. Cole is cranking right now, man. Make sure you go over to Apple Podcasts, rate and review. Tell me what you think. This is episode 10. Let's go, baby. Episode 10, baby. Let's go. Y'all see what J. Cole's doing. Y'all know what he's going to do. But look, now we're going to go there. See, Big Sean, another underrated. But this is a Big Sean and Hit Boy collaboration, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, look, we vibing over here right now, man. It's a vibe over here, man. Hey, let's get it. All right, look. Of course, we got to take it to my guy, Wale. New Balance. Let's go. Come on. Let's get it. So support the home team. You know I had to put them in there. I thought New Balance was a vibe to start the freaking album. Let's go. Thank you for listening to episode 10 of season 2 of the podcast, man. Look, I hope you've been enjoying the podcast so far, right? Hey. So look, I want to end this episode 10 of the podcast with some motivation, man. Be thankful for the things you got, man. Because one of the things you can't do is be ungrateful. Like, I look at a lot of situations. There's been a lot of growth in my life, right? And there's also been a lot of sorrow and there's been a lot of pain, right? But one of the things I try to do is make sure I don't get too far, don't get too ahead. Kind of just make sure I'm always being consistent. That's why I say one of the things about fitness, right, you learn, right, is it can build character, right? It can also relieve stress and it can relieve mental anxiety, but also like your diet plays a certain part in that as well, right? So I think like when I go into the gym, I want to always make sure I'm improving. And there's always ways to find out if I'm improving, whether when I'm running a mile, being able to shave some time off, whether I'm lifting heavy, being able to go in and say, okay, if I did one rep last week at 315, let's go for 2 or 3, right? There's always ways in your life to show that you're improving, right? And one thing you don't want to make sure one thing you don't want to do is make sure you're being stuck, you stale. I told myself about 4 years ago when I turned 30 that I want to make sure each year I'm growing, right? There's something new. I think at 30, I was at Safeguard. The job was underpaying me. When I went to that job, I took a pay cut, right? So going into 31, I'm still there. I'm like, man, I don't see no improvement. Some of the things I saw in there I didn't want to do. So going into year 33, right, I said, okay, what can I do to better myself, right? Pandemic happened. A lot of things set us back. So I started the podcast. My personal training thing wasn't really going the way I wanted it to go. And I just wasn't willing to take so much of the mental beat up that it takes to be the best, be a guy that's chasing a dollar. And I'm not that guy. I don't chase dollars. I let my money work for me. So at 34, I want to make sure that I'm doing some of the same things. It's constant growth, man. But I tell you, this 34 has been one trying year. So as we move into 2022, my prayer for you is, man, that everything that you want and you ask for, you'll get it, right? If you want more money, you'll get it. If you want a new house, you'll get it. If you want a new job, you'll get it. So I'm saying that same thing to myself, right? You got to speak it, and like you gotta speak with confidence. I think the atmosphere understands a weak person, and our atmosphere understands a positive person. So I want to make sure I'm always putting positivity out there to you, and I appreciate you for listening to episode 10. I am your personal trainer. I am your motivator. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'm out.